5 seconds. Get ready. Speaking on the railway budget, a member said in the Lok Sabha, "Sir, if you consider the various indicators and the revenues available in the budgets, you will find that there are certain paradoxical situations. It is my purpose to place before the railway minister certain paradoxical situations that have already arisen out of a number of budgets that have been presented in the last several years. I would like him to compare the various surplus that were mopped up and the various volumes of traffic that were available right from 1978 up to the present budget. I know that the working expenses have now increased to some extent, but how they increased to such an extent so as to have such a paradoxical situation. Therefore, there are only two inferences that can be drawn, either by the volume of traffic that has been calculated and projected is erroneous, or the second possibility is that if there are no mistakes committed in the calculation of the volume of traffic, in that case probably the working expenses are far more than what they have shown in the budget. I do not want to attribute motives either to the minister or to the officers of the Indian Railways, but they should try to check and recheck whether there are certain mistakes in the calculations and that have been made and the estimates that have been made, and therefore I think either the calculation of volume of traffic is wrong or the calculation of the working expenses is wrong. This is the paradoxical situation that has been developed. There is no doubt that adequate traffic is there. No doubt coal and other materials and raw materials are available to the industries. But on the basis of my experience with a small scale sector and medium scale sector, I am told that there is a lacuna here. No doubt, as far as large industries are concerned, they have no complaint whether they are the coal industries in the public sector or the private sector. They were satisfied because they had adequate stocks of coal and other raw materials. But as far as medium scale sector industries are concerned and small scale industries are concerned, the traffic was not available to them in as big a quantity as they wanted. Now that again is a slip between the cup and the lip. I would like to make a plea to the government, and I think it is a plea that will support the Union Railway Minister. As far as the railways are concerned, they are the infrastructure for the development of our country. If the railways fail, the steel plants will fail, the cement plants will fail, the textile industries will fail, the small and medium scale industries will fail, agriculture will fail, and the movement of agricultural commodities will fail. Therefore, the railways are the basic infrastructure for the economy of the country. Therefore, I will join hands with the Railway Minister in demanding from the Planning Commission greater allocations, and at least next time, whatever allocations are demanded by the Railway Minister, the Planning Commission should be cooperative enough to make those allocations that the infrastructure of the economy can be adequately built up. In the south, there are some goods trains which are being run without guards, and for emergency training is given to the fireman to drive the train. Somebody may commit murder for the engine driver. In the case, the train may go astray, and therefore the firemen are to be given emergency training. Some of the mail and express trains are also being driven by firemen. I feel that unless the Indian Railways feel that there is a perpetual emergency in the country, there is no justification for these firemen actually providing the trains. There is one other dangerous aspect, and that is the administrative aspect. Dirty linen is washed by the mechanical and by the operating departments. I do not want to side either of them, but dirty linen is washed. Lot of trouble is being created there. One is trying to throw the entire blame on the other. This should be avoided. Some trade unions had at least come forward with a resolution extending full cooperation to the administration and saying that they would try to observe the coming year as the safety year of the Indian Railways and that they would extend all possible cooperation. They themselves considered with if there is a lacuna in the implementation, they would take upon themselves the sole responsibility. The aspect has also to be borne in mind. There has been upgradation of the staff. When the upgradation was introduced, the idea was that this upgradation would help the entire administration of the railways in the field also. But what actually happened is that the upgraded posts are concentrated in the headquarters, and as a result of that, they are not being diverted to the field. They are jurisdictional conflicts, and therefore the very purpose of this upgradation is defeated. I do not in any way mean to say that upgradation should be scrapped. Upgradation is a progressive step and it should be properly implemented. There are a lot of disparities between the various public sector undertakings under the railways. I do not, however, say that immediately party will be possible, but at least you should move in the direction of ensuring that party is there. I do not want to go into the figures, but unlike any other part of the world, it is only the Indian Railways that is bring the highest social burdens. For the railways carry a number of articles below the operating cost. A number of materials which are required for defense are being carried by them, and a number of other commodities are being carried by them below operating costs. There are certain uneconomical lines which must be constructed, but government must give more allocations. Those social burdens should be removed. There are number of projects that have already been sanctioned and surveys have been completed. When actually surveys have been completed and the recommendations are available, such projects should be taken up immediately for execution. I will certainly make use of another opportunity to offer my views on the other matters. Thank you, sir.